Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to unbox a snowblower branded Powersmart. It's a fuel running machine, not an electric one. It's a 26-inch 220cc gas 2-stage snowblower with LED lights. Well, it's good in case I have to run it early in the morning before I can get my car out to go to work, or in the evening when I come home from work, when it's still dark or getting dark early in the winter. It's really good to have a machine so I don't have to shovel the snow by hand, especially in Canada, as you know that some winter days we have blizzards or snowstorms. When you wake up in the morning, you can see snow piling up 2 to 3 feet on a double garage driveway. It's a pain on the back if you shovel by hand, right? This machine, as specified, can clear 2,400 pounds per minute. The clearing width is 26 inches and the height is 20 inches. This refers to the dimension of the auger. The engine displacement is 212 cubic centimeters, a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine, self-propelled, variable forward and backward. The auger is a heavy-duty, steel-made device, and the chute can rotate 180 degrees with a tire size of 13 inches. Yeah, it's a big tire machine that I'm sure can run on thick snow with no problem. Now, I'm going to take the top control panel out first, but it seems the cable is stuck at the bottom of the carton box, so I have to cut out the carton box. The machine was very well packaged before shipping to avoid any damage. You can see that the paint color is shiny. It looks like it has good quality. I do hope that the package has everything needed for installation. Otherwise, I will have to contact the store where I purchased it for the parts needed to put it all together for the machine. This is the chute with the cable that's been attached to the control panel assembled at the factory. As you can see, the machine is sitting at the bottom of the hard carton box. You see that the snow intake box is 26 inches wide from left to right. This is the middle handle. This is the engine oil, 5W30 grade. I have to remove this lock pin. Then I gotta pay attention to the wheel hub. One side faces into the engine and the other side with a lock hole faces out so I can put the lock pin in. Just rotate it around to find the hole, then put the pin in. I'm gonna do the same for this side. Then remember to put the pins in and to lock the pins too. I just want to spray some W40 here to lubricate the axle and protect it from rusting. Now I'm going to install the middle handle. As you can see, the 2 holes on this handle will go to the side and be tightened with the 2 bolts. The handle goes here and I'm going to use these 2 bolts to tighten it. Then I'm going to use the 12mm wrench to tighten it. Remember not to over tighten it. Then I'm going to put the upper handle that is attached to the control panel. I'm going to cut these zip tight out. This is a bag holding bolts and nuts enough to tighten all necessary parts together. As for the chute, I align it with the base attaching to the auger, then press the chute down. Then I'm going to connect the steel rod to it. Now I'm going to connect the cable to the left lever. When pressed down, it will engage the auger and make it spin to chop the snow at the auger intake. This is the cable tension adjustable nut. This lever on the right side, when pressed down, it will engage the machine to run forward or backward. Now I'm going to pour the oil into the engine. The engine came with a jug of 1 liter of oil. It uses 5W30 oil grade. I'm going to dump the whole jug of oil in. I am sure that I can use motor oil with the same grade, which is 5W30, for the next oil change if I can't find the Powersmart oil. I am planning to do the oil change once a year before winter. That way, I believe I can keep the engine lasting longer. After pouring oil into the engine, I'm going to add fuel to the tank. The capacity of the tank is about 2.7 liters to 3 liters, and I want to use premium gas for easy start and smooth run. Then I'm going to try pulling the pull start, and I will also try the electric starter to see how it works. Before starting the engine, I have to push the choke lever to the closed position. And then I have to pump the fuel into the engine's combustion by pushing the red round rubber button 3 to 4 times. Then I will start the engine with the pull start. When it runs, I will slowly open the air intake by pushing the lever to the right to open the maximum air intake. To shut it off, I just need to move the lever to the choke position to choke the air from coming into the engine, which will shut it down. Or I can pull out the safety key to immediately turn the engine off in emergency cases. Now I'm going to start the engine with the electric starter. I'm going to plug it in and press this red button to start the engine. When the engine runs, I got to move this stick from the choke position to the right position to open the air intake valve to get more air coming in so the engine can run smoothly. To turn the engine off, I just need to pull this key out. After I know that there's nothing wrong with starting the engine, I'm going to use the 12mm socket to tighten all the nuts and bolts. I got to cut these zip ties up. Then I'm going to use the carton packaging pieces to put under the bottom of the snow intake box to make an even gap from the left to the right of the box. Then I'm going to install the skid shoes to the both sides of the auger. Now, I'm gonna install the skid shoes. These components should be installed on both sides of the auger of the snowblowers, allowing the machine to glide over the ground and protecting the housing from direct contact with concrete or gravel. After I installed the skid shoes and tested the blower outside, I realized that the gap I made using the carton packaging pieces was too low to the ground and didn't run smoothly, and I also see that the skid shoes I installed were in the wrong direction. They have to face out, so in case I run the blower close to a concrete wall of the garage, the blower won't hit the wall, so I call it the guide feet. Then I have to unscrew the nuts and turn the feet around and tighten them again. The guide feet have to face out like this. This time, I'm going to use the screw bits to put under the snow intake box so I can make a higher clearance between the box and the concrete surface. It's not necessary to be too close to the concrete surface. The screw bits I put under the snow intake box, or you can call it a bucket or an auger housing, are about 6 millimeters in outer diameter. They have more clearance than using the carton packaging pieces that I used earlier. You can also adjust the clearance of the snow intake box, depending on your driveway. If your driveway is concrete, you can adjust the clearance of the auger by about 6 millimeters from the concrete surface. If your driveway is gravel, you can adjust the clearance of the auger higher dependingly. You can adjust the clearance by lifting the bucket, and the guide feet can also be moved up or down to adjust the height. After I get the desired clearance, I can remove the screw bits and start installing the rod that controls the chute's direction. The chute can rotate 180 degrees from left to right. Now, I'm going to install another rod connecting the speed control stick to this bracket adjuster here, which can adjust the forward speeds and reverse speeds. This rod can be adjusted to a higher or lower position depending on the tension of the speed stick by moving the nut to a lower or higher position. Then I'm going to use a 13mm wrench to tighten these nuts. I don't know why the manufacturer didn't use the same nut sizes for all installation nuts, but you have to have different wrench sizes. There are 6 forward speeds and 2 reverse speeds. The greater the number, the faster the blower can move forward or backward. The left-hand lever, when pressed down, will engage the auger shaft and it will spin to chop the snow. When you release this lever, the auger shaft will stop. The lever on the right-hand side, when you press it down, will make the machine move forward or backward. Now, I'm going to remove a little screw on this box to install 3 AAA batteries, and this box is to supply power to the headlight when I press a round button to turn it on. And that is it for the video of unboxing, installation, and getting the snowblower started. If you find this video helpful, please tap the like and subscribe buttons. That would be very much appreciated. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.